Yo, what's good? It's Skano from the gutter. Women, I love y'all, for the most part. It's a lot of, a lot of content out here, a lot of men talking about they done with dating, and I understand. And a lot of y'all saying y'all done with women altogether. And it's, whoa, whoa. As long as I have a sex drive, there will always be some room in my world, at least to some capacity, for women. But I get what y'all, I feel you. But a lot of y'all women are deluded. And I don't know if it started, you know, I know it's been ingrained in a lot of y'all, you know. And there's nothing wrong with having a healthy dose of self-esteem. But I think that when you are, you know, when you've reach a point of delusion, that you've overvalued yourself because at the end of the day, I mean, self-love is a beautiful thing. But if you're interested in finding a significant other, they will determine your value, you know? And you're not entitled to anything. That's the problem with a lot of y'all women. Y'all overly entitled. Men, we expect nothing. We know from an early age. It is ingrained in us that nothing is given. You have to go get it. Women, on the other hand, it has been ingrained in you that you are entitled to all these things. You know, respect, courtesy, thoughtfulness, like all these things are given as far as men are concerned. Y'all don't expect shit from each other. I see how women treat each other and how y'all really feel about each other. You know what I'm saying? Most men don't know how women perceive each other. But I know. So, y'all don't appreciate shit. You've overvalued, you overinflated your sexual marketplace value. A lot of y'all. And as it pertains to single moms, and I never come on my platform, my modest, humble platform, and talk down on single moms. I'm gonna be real. A lot of y'all living in a world, a fantasy world. You really are. You got women out here that got kids by multiple men, and y'all still think you are the prize. Like, what world are y'all existing in, man? The one y'all have fabricated. Like I said, a lot of y'all are just deluded. You don't appreciate shit. A man comes along that shows interest, and lo and behold, may actually even care about you, regardless of the fact that you have kids by another man. You know, even though that is becoming, you know, far and far, you know, men starting to tap out on that shit too. You know, they've been tapping out on that. But and it's not to say that because a woman has kids, you know, and single moms, that you are automatically, just trash or in the undesirable. You automatically go to the undesirable bin, but y'all need to humble yourself. I mean, you can live in whatever reality you choose to, but in the real world, your sexual marketplace value is not where you think it is. You know what I'm saying? It's just not. Now, for women who are, attractive, you are successful, I mean, those things will help kind of, but at the end of the day, y'all got to start being real. I'm not saying accept whatever, but you are not at the peak prime of your sexual marketplace value anymore, especially if you over a certain age. You know, you talk women in their 30s, even 40s, single moms who in their mind still believe that they are entitled to any type of man they want. You know, look, y'all have to be real with yourself. You know, be real with yourself. That's not how it works. Now, there's plenty of simps out here. And by that, I mean men who have low standards, low self esteem, low confidence, and they more likely to take whatever they can get, whether you treat them like trash or not, you know. But for the most part, any self respecting man who has options, it's over for y'all. It's over. All that self entitlement, you know. And a lot of y'all believe that y'all man should come, secondary to y'all kids. Kids that aren't biologically his. Now, I can kind of get in, even though in my mind, you know, but for my own kids, now embracing someone else's kids is one thing, but coming secondary to someone else's kids is out of the question for me. And call me whatever you want to. But a lot of y'all women believe that is protocol. You come first. Your kids, are far close second. And your man, he fall in behind maybe your career. A lot of you niggas is like fourth tier, third tier best. Some of you niggas, the dog is over you in the social ladder of your relationship. Hey, till you stay on. And this may sound rude. It sounds however it sounds. But that's not how it works. If y'all don't humble yourselves, and this is not just single moms, women in general, a lot of y'all gonna end up by yourself. You're gonna get passed around because, just because you're attractive don't mean you're gonna be able to keep a man. You'll be able to keep a man in your bed, but you won't be able to keep no real nigga in your life. It's a big difference. And I don't think y'all be understanding that shit until you get about 45, 50 years old. You got a house full of cats or dogs, whichever you prefer. And you're talking about, nobody ever appreciated me. Y'all don't appreciate shit. Like I said, when you're young and in your prime and you got your pick of the, and you can, and you begin to delude yourself, it's always going to be that way. But like I said, a lot of y'all will be able to keep a man in your bed, but they're not going to deal with the attitude and the entitlement, the delusion. So, keep thinking the grass is greener on the other side, and there's going to come a day when you're going to be out in the pasture by yourself grazing, But it is what it is, man. And as I said, this could work both ways. There's a lot of men out here that move around, but the difference is, and this is just a cruel, fact of life. As men age, we tend to, peak. A lot of men won't reach their peak until mid-40s, depending on how you take care of yourself. So a man actually can increase his sexual marketplace value, as he ages. While on the other hand, and all this to say, to the women that's out there, you're attractive, you know, you tend to have, you know, many men at your disposal, options. The clock is ticking. So, you know, for all y'all overly choosy women who think that it's always going to be that way, you know, time is running out. And at some point, you know, when the tension starts to wane and, you know, you don't get them stares like you used to. Men don't approach you. You know, you go on your little dating sites and, you know, it just ain't hitting like you thought it would be. And time is running out, you know. And at some point, you'll reach, you know, that point of desperation where, you know, like I said, 40s, 50 kicking you in the ass and you still by yourself or you still ain't found somebody that you, and then you're going to take whatever you can get. Or like I said, you know, you get you about 6, 7 cats, 3, 4 dogs, you know, let them run around the house crazy. And you can yell and scream at them. 216 Skano, you already know.